Good morning, my dear students. Now, this is to inform you that at the mid of this month, your first unit test will held, and when you will come back school from 6th onwards, then I will revise the lessons thoroughly from the first. Now, whatever the technical things are given in the previous lessons, everything I will revise. Now, today I am discussing few questions from the lesson number 5 which we were discussing, and if you have any doubt you can ask me also, but mostly I will focus on revision these days. Now let's start today's class. On the page number 135 there are the exercises given related to this lesson. These are theory, and now come to the part number B. Part A is theory, part B is the application based questions in which you have to think it logically. Write an algorithm to find the square of a number. So first, how you can find the square of any number, that you must know. One number which we want that I don't know. So I may take that number input from the user. So input n. I am not writing program, I am writing the simple way of thinking. Input n. Now I want one variable to hold the square. Sq, let's an example, this is the variable I have taken, Sq, and what it will hold? It will hold n into n. If we will multiply the number 2 times, means number into number, then this is the square. So this is the simple program, and you have to write the algorithm to find the square of a number. So this is simple algorithm which you have to use in this question. You will take the number, you will find its square. This is the question number 1. Now come to the question number 2. Draw a flow chart to solve the problem of a non-functioning light bulb. What you have to do? If a non-functioning light bulb is there, so there may be 2 conditions. That bulb may be working, may not be working. So how you will do this? Number 2. Start. Now in this part you have started the program. The first thing, you will check the bulb. If you are checking the bulb, you have to take decision. In this, 2 situations may be there. Bulb may be correct, or that bulb may not be correct. Bulb question mark, it is checking for bulb. If it is correct, no need to do anything. Stop. If it is not correct, then what you have to do? You have to again change the bulb, you have to check the bulb. So here is the one more section you should add, processing part, install new bulb. If this bulb is working, then stop it. If it is not working, then you have to install new bulb. Once again, you understand? You have started, install a bulb. If this bulb is working, then stop, no problem. If this is not working, then again install new bulb. You have to check it again that it is working or not. Question number 3. Draw a flow chart for calculating grade from marks percentage. Now in question number 3, we have to calculate grade. Grades may be, you have to find this like 80% to 90%, it will be A, 60% to 79%, it will be B, 40% to 59%, it is C, and 30% to 39%, it is D, and below 30% fail. Let's an example, we have given fail. You can give E as a grade. E means fail. Now you have to draw the flow chart. First, start the program. You know the grades, so you have to check which grade it is. One more thing, you can take input, the number, input, input percentage. Now this percentage you will check. If percentage like this, you can write percentage what, in which section it is coming, and then after you have some assignments for the like this you can draw. This is not fixed rule, you have to think and you have to simply draw the design. What I have done, I have one table. If the number is coming in between, I will give A. If the number is coming in between, I will give B. If the number is coming in between, I will give C. Like this it is, nothing is fixed. I have started the flow chart, I have considered the input percentage, then I have checked in this decision in which section it will go, and according to the section it will print the grade. Then you have to stop it. In this no fixed rule it is, you have to think, you have to draw. Simply you have to explain that what you want to say. Simple it is. Next question, Write an algorithm to double a number in two different ways, and the two different ways are given here. Now the first one, n plus n. The first is n plus n. So we have to write an algo. Now in this first step, n is not known to us. So you have to take n, input n. Now after taking n, you need one variable that will store the value of n. So double, I am considering double, the name of variable is double, which will hold the value. So for doubling n plus n, you will do, so it will do the double and then it will hold the value. In the second method, 2 cross n. Now in this first, you have to input n. Second step, I have considered double 2 into n. So in both the ways, you can write the code like this. Now come to the next. Question number 5. There is no fixed method to write these algorithms and to draw the flow chart. This is totally up to you. It may be random. Many different students may draw different designs. So don't bother for. You have to make it clear to others. You have to make it understandable only. In question number 5, write an algorithm and draw the flow chart to determine if the student passed the exam or not. Note, there are 4 subjects, paper and passing average is 50 marks. So, if the student has cleared the paper, he should gain more than passing marks. Now, what you have to do, you have to start the program and you have to take the 4 marks. Because if you don't know the 4 marks, then how will you decide the student has passed or not? Now 4 marks I have taken from the user M1, M2, M3, M4. Then you have to process the grade, you have to find the grade. Means finding the grade is the part of processing. In this part, you will, whatever you are writing inside this box, this doesn't matter. The way you are making the designs, that is matter. If I am telling that it is the processing part now, so you have to use a rectangle. In this rectangle, you can use any variable. Grade is equal to M1 plus M2 plus M3 plus M4 and divided by 4. If you have 4 subjects, you will divide it by 4. If you have 6 subjects, you will divide it by 6. After processing, you have to take decision that if grade is less than or more than what. As according to the question it is given, your passing average is 50, passing average is 50 or more. Means if it is less than 50, if this is less than 50, the student has failed, and if it is more than 50, then it is okay, it is passed. Now you will take the decision less than 50. So this is fail. You have printed this is fail, this is the output, and if no, then you have printed pass. And if the student has passed or failed in both the cases, you have to end the program. You have to stop the program. So this is not fixed, this design is not fixed. You can make it understandable to others only by making this kind of designs. Write the pseudo code for the following on the page number 136. They have given this diagram in your book on the page number 136. We have to write pseudo code. Let's start. Input x, y and z. So in the first step you will take the input. This is not the program, it is the pseudo code only. Now next is decision making. This is decision making. So you have to use if condition. If x is greater than y, then if x is greater than y, then if it is true, then yes part will be evaluated. X is greater than z. If this is the part of this, x is greater than z. And if no, then y is greater than z. If it is, then this, else part, y is greater than z. Means how this program is running, input x, y, z, they have given if x is greater than y, then if it is true, then yes part will be evaluated. So yes part is x is greater than z. So I have written here. If it is not true, so it will completely not working, it will come here. Y is greater than z. It will be. Indentation may vary. Regarding indentation, regarding proper programming, if you are thinking, then if it is this one, then else part for this one is y greater than z will come downside this. Then after, print the largest number x and print the largest number is y. So where you will print? If x is greater than y and x is greater than z, so here you have to print. Don't make this largest number is x. Else print the second situation in the printing section is y greater than z. If y is greater than x and if y is greater than z, then print largest is y. Means if x is greater than y, x is greater than z, then largest is x. If y is greater than x, y is greater than z, then largest is y. If both the conditions are not true, then print largest is z. So like this we have to write the pseudocodes for the program. Now let's say an example, the next one, 6b. 6b. In this program, due to this example we can write this. You have to input two variables c and s. Input c and s. Okay? And you have to input the value c equal to 0 and s equal to 0 also. In the next case they are telling, this is the decision making, c is less than 5. So you have to use if condition. If c is less than 5, then what should do? If it is yes, see, it is repeating. From downside it is coming again and again. It means this is while loop. If repetition is there, you have to use while loop. So while c is less than 5, if it is, then input num s equal to s plus num, and now you have to use the variable to increment or decrement. So here c is equal to c plus 1 for this loop, because it is repeating again and again. Now after this, average equal to s slash 5. Average is the variable and s is the sum which you have calculated. Then after print avg, and then you have to stop. This is a very good program. You can see the flow chart. In this they have checked if c is less than 5 or not. So you can see one line is coming from downside, it means it is repeating. We can't use simple if. If it is repeating, then we have to use while loop. C less than 5, input, then sum, and we have to control this variable c equal to c plus 1. It is given also, c equal to c plus 1. After calculation, you have to find the average and then you have to print the average. Now on the page number 137, question number 8, to find the area and perimeter of a rectangle, what we have to do in this? Draw a flow chart, write algorithm and pseudocode for the following 8 to 24. You have to do all the things. So let's an example. I am writing algo first. In algorithm, you have to take the value, input the value of length and breadth. In simple English, algorithm is simple English. Input the value of length and breadth. Now to find the area, number 2. You can write this program through user's choice, that how user wants to find the value. He want area or he want perimeter, what you want. But in simple we can write directly to find the area length, length into breadth. In simple English you write the program length into breadth. Third, to find the perimeter 2 into L plus B. L plus B I have not taken. Length into length plus breadth. Length plus breadth. You have calculated area, you have calculated perimeter also. Now your work is over. Now how will you draw the flow chart for this? After starting, input L and B. After taking input, processing. This is processing. Area equal to L into B. And second, this is processing. Perimeter is equal to 2 into L plus B. 2 into L plus B. After calculating, you have to stop. The same thing in pseudocode if you are writing. Pseudocode is somewhat like program. So when we are inputting value, number 1, L input L, number 2 input B, number 3 area equal to L into B, number 4 perimeter equal to 2 into L plus B, and then stop. This is over. Algorithm means no need to follow any rules. You have to use simple English to define the program. In flowchart, wherever you are taking input, you will use this parallelogram. In processing, you will use rectangles, and in stop, you will use this oval. A pseudocode is somewhat like program. L, B, I have taken input. In short, you can write with the variables which you are taking. So, like this you will write the code. Now to calculate the area and circumference of the circle, the second question, question number 9, is also same as we are finding this area and perimeter. Only at the place of circumference we will use pi 2 pi r. Like in this program I am changing to calculate the area and circumference of circle. Input the value of radius. To find the area, 3.14 into r, radius into radius. To find the circumference, To find the circumference, 2 into 3.14 3.14 into radius. Like the same way we can write the code also. Input R, number 2 area 3.14 into R, and 3 circumference equal to 2 into 3.14 into R. Like the code we have written. Now in this we can write in the flow chart, input R, area is 3.14 into R, perimeter is 2 into 3.14 into R, and now stop it. You can understand this well. Again the same process, you have taken radius and you have calculated the value. This is algorithm in simple English. This is somewhat like code, this is pseudocode. This is the flow chart that we have drawn. Now when we will resume the classes, we will discuss some more students. Thank you for today.